But
Okay.
be here at Gen Q?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Okay.
good. You've witnessed pretty much everything that I went through and had your own experiences.
Yeah.
Um, I did go ahead and post my things on Twitter, but my things were really badly worded and kind of mixed up because I was not doing good. So I figured I would come here and speak about it with a better mindset and better words in my head. Okay. So, because we're not playing a game, you're just gonna sit on chat no eyes, and I'm really sorry about that.
Me when chat no eyes.
But my friend Ruby drew chat no eyes for me, and I love it, and I want to look at this while I try to do this. So, I'm going to go ahead and we will start with, well, the sexualization. Now, this part was its own little thread in my Twitter because I had mixed up and like not been able to talk about it as much. I posted that one today. But Zodi, or specifically the altered Joel from Zodi's system, he identifies as 30 and their body age is 30. As Oshi mentioned yesterday in her stream, at the time where this all was taking place, I was 16. Joel would, every time he was in call, minors, with just adults, with people who kind of like asked not to have like too many sexual jokes said near them, no matter what, every other thing out of his mouth was a sexual joke. If he could make it a sexual joke, he would make it a sexual joke. There was multiple times
Okay.
where it was, yes, Falk?
Oh, I could also add something on a little bit. Not
Yep.
first. um, I know a lot of times the jokes were um less so like they were a lot more in depth than just being like, "Hey, yo," or ah. Like they would be a bit more detailed, not like overly detailed, but it'd be more than just going like, "Hey, yo."
Yeah, like if it
If
was just
that
like
makes
an
sense.
ayo, like poke fun of thing, it wouldn't be this bad.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he would sit there and like describe sexual actions or even like make jokes about his own sex life that weren't just like small things. There had been multiple times where it was only minors in the call and he would sit there and make sex jokes. I don't know why he would. There was multiple times where it was late at night, and granted, this was like season 2, season 3, my first 2 seasons. I was still trying to figure out how EOD worked. Um, he would, I would be like asking about something or like trying to share something, and every other word he came out of my mouth would be like, "Hey, yo, Apollo, what do you mean by that? You getting up to something dirty there?" And first day I was in the server, they were let know that I was 16.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
They knew at the time that I was 16 and that I was a minor. They still
If
know that I'm a minor. Yes, Falk?
I remember correctly, I think like they made an Ayo joke, and I was like, "Oh hey, by the way, Apollo is a minor," and then you can't
I
continue.
I remember the first thing I was talking, like the first thing I said in the EOD server was something about flowers, and that he said something about messing with my flower, and we were like, "Hey, yo, no, minor here." And he deleted that, but then did not stop going forward. Hold on, my dog's barking.
R.I.P. that barking A.
Ugh.
Sorry, I don't mean to make light of the situation.
No, I'm
Brain
not.
immediately goes to humor.
I'm not
I
upset
just
at
want
you.
to
I'm
state
upset
that
at
real
the
quick.
dog who stared me directly in the eyes, looking at the door, and then walked to my bed.
I just want to state in general, Brain immediately kind of goes to like humor in situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not trying to make light of the situation. That's just where Brain goes. But I'm so good at
Yeah.
words.
What is it? I've been asked to Ow! I punched my mic.
What's up?
I punched my mic.
Before that, kiddo?
I've been asked to check no mic.
Oh, one sec.
My girlfriend is probably going to start
Oh.
sending links in chat just in case so that you guys can have points to read along with. Yeah, that is the sexual stuff. It was to the point where one time it was really late at night, I think like around 3 a.m. for me. It was me, Oshi, Joel, I think either Froppy or Pan maybe, and like one other person in call. And we were just vibing on the server, getting ready to head out. And well, Oshi mentioned that she had pretty much said, "Hey yo, I found rocks, I'm gonna eat them," because like it was a really like hard to find gem on the server. And Joel immediately sexualized it. And Oshi had gotten genuinely upset, and I know that I specifically didn't like clock that she was upset about it. And because another point that I'm going to bring up, which is my next point I'm going to bring up, had happened like 2 or 3 weeks earlier, I did not want to start anything, so I pretty much just said, "It's fine, I'm fine, I'm fine with it," because I was the minor in the call that she also had gotten upset about him saying stuff like that with the minor in call. Which, granted, did not make it okay. I was just scared of Joel, and honestly, I still am, because I've seen what he can do to people and their mental health. Now, that is the end of that section. Falk, do you have anything to add to it, or like anything I missed?
For that, no, aside from I have been in several calls where questionable things have been said to or around minors that at the time Brain didn't fully clock as a yo, that's not good because everyone laughed it off, and I'm bad with social situations.
Yeah. Those are. Froppy has just posted the two specific things from my Twitter that I posted. Again, the document is very all over the place because I was not in the right mind space to try to be writing that, but I felt like I needed to get that out. So it has a lot of information jumping around a lot, which is again why I'm doing this stream. Now, the next one I'm going to be talking about is end of season 3 of EOD. I've not actually interacted with the solar system outside of EOD besides maybe like a few words. And the solar system has done most of this within calls with admins in this call or in a place where admins were watching. So it was the Dragon Fight Day of EOD Season 3. Um, Thank you, chat. Um, so yes, it was the dragon fight day of season 3, and me, Froppy, Dark, and Valk, like our little team, were like getting to the end. We had just gotten to everyone to the stronghold and everything. And we were about to go into the end. We didn't know if anyone else was there yet because the end portal had not been lit, at least the one we found that I remember. It might have. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the one we found had not been lit yet. So,
I want to say it wasn't.
it
Or it
might
might.
have
I
been, it might
genuinely
not
do
have
not
been.
remember. It was late at that point.
Yeah, it was around 2 a.m. for me, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for Valk.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was
And
working swings at that time, so it wasn't like bad time for me, but
yeah,
still late.
and either or, we thought that the rule was that you could not go into the end until it was time to fight the exact time to fight
Mhm.
the dragon, but we were proven wrong when we got in. I was trying to like go up the water that was right next to the end portal and accidentally fell in. Now, someone that I will have remain anonymous because they have not done anything wrong that I have seen, that I think
Mhm.
had spawned a few weeping angels, which are something that I am personally afraid of.
Yeah,
Um,
those fuckers suck. Sorry.
like terrified,
Yeah, they are.
and they camped the end spawn with um end crystals. They had blown one up, blowing me into the weeping angels, and in a panic response, I logged out. It was my hands moved before my brain thought situation
Mhm.
because I just suddenly got thrusted into the angels.
Mhm.
Now, when Joel realized this, because we were all in call, everyone that was there were in call at this time.
Mhm.
When Joel realized this, he started yelling at me.
Mhm.
And soon enough, his partner, who their tag is Colt Pond, but I will be calling them Froggy for this situation. Their partner, Froggy, immediately jumped in. Joel, being both bodily and the alter age 30, Colt Pond or Froggy being 19, both immediately started jumping on me for having a panic response. And not long after that, the admin at the time, I'm not sure if they're still an admin right now. Probably question mark.
Say again.
But is radio still an admin?
I genuinely did not recall. Let me
Yeah.
look at something real quick.
But at least at the time, the admin Radio Geist, or if you've seen their Discord, I believe their Discord is Radio Tower.
I don't believe they are currently on the server. Info slash
Okay.
info.
They were the only other admin besides Connix at the time, and both admins were in call, but Connix was at work, so he was muted using the integrated chat. Okay, thank you. But radio immediately pipes up once Joel stops screaming of, "Oh, I guess you need to be read the roles to you." And then I said, through like trying to calm down the panic attack I was having and trying not to cry, I said that I knew the rules and I go over them every week because new server, new rules, and I didn't want to wind up breaking one.
Mhm.
And then Radio sat there reading the rules out to me like I was a 2-year-old, very condescendingly,
Mhm.
and I kept asking them to stop because I knew the rules. When they finally did stop, and after I had said multiple times that I had accepted the punishment for combat logging without permission from the person
Mhm.
who hit me, I wound up like half in tears. And then Joel made a comment about, and this is like a quote, Apollo and his blatant disregard for the rules. At this point, I was fully nonverbal,
Mhm.
having a panic attack, crying, and could not breathe. My friend, Dark, Froppy, my girlfriend, and Valk had to literally drag me out of VC as Connix was sitting there telling everyone to stop and that I was fine and that I
Mhm.
accepted it so that no one needed to do this. So we spent the last 10 minutes before the dragon fight trying to calm me down enough to go on stream and make it look like I didn't just have a bad time.
Mhm.
Because, one, we are all smaller creators, and the solar system is a bigger creator. So that's scary within itself of they could pretty much tell their community that you did anything, and unless if they're close friends and know you like that, their community would basically just hate you. And you never know what could happen from a community, especially someone like Joel and Zodi's. Thank you, chat. Um, Valk, do you have anything to add to the Dragon Fight Day?
Mhm. Yeah. It's again, memory is a bit wonk. I'm not sure like if there was yelling in the sense of them like physically getting very loud and yelling, but it was a lot of definitely berating and condescending tones, and overall the vibes were not it. And it was definitely people going after adults going after a minor nearly half their age. It was not a good situation in the slightest, and I'm honestly very upset at myself for not saying shit at the time because that was not okay in the slightest. That was not a good
Joel
way to handle that situation
Joel being 30,
at all.
Radio being 29,
Mhm.
and Colt Pond being 19. Now I see Colt Pond, because Colt Pond at the time was 19. I see
Mhm.
them maybe getting a little bit more upset and a little bit more like out of hand because again, they are still a teenager. Whether it's an adult, it's still considered a teenager.
Mhm.
At the time, they were still a teenager. I believe they are 20 now, but that does not excuse a 30 and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
29-year-old yelling at someone who is 14 years younger
Mhm.
than them.
And I will say the reading out the rules was like the most condescending I've ever really fucking heard a person. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if this is a place to like swear and stuff, but it was very condescending. There was also a lot of audio going on. If I remember correctly, Radio was reading out the rules at the same time. I think Joel and Colt were still saying things as well.
Mm.
And I think other people were also possibly saying things. There was a lot going on. There was a lot
Thank
of
you,
words, a
Aether.
lot of noises in general.
I believe
It
Dark
was a
and
night.
Froppy were trying to get them to stop. It was just our group and their group in call, and Connix muted.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
This happened back in November, I believe 2 a.m. for my time on the 14th of November. As a 30-year-old, I feel like Joel should have been more mature about the situation, especially with a minor involved. I agree. Um, which brings me to my next thing. And my last, like, big thing, other than just, like, condescending texts every time I would text in the EOD chat, or, like, just blatant ignorance. Um, Sorry, but their fans' parasocial relationships with them is so weird that for me is looking like. Yeah. I've noticed that Joel is a bit, like,
Mm-hmm.
manipulative, I want to say. Like, he will sit there and, like, act very sweet and then
Yeah.
snap at the smallest thing.
Yeah, like, it was okay to say something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, with this, everything kind of, people collectively going like, yeah, this stuff is not okay. I myself have struggled a bit to process because of all the times, all the good interactions I've had with them that where they genuinely seem sweet, but at the same time, there's just, uh, it's, there's a lot more not good that seems to outweigh those moments of good.
Mm-hmm. Also, my dog might
Sorry if that
ask to
wasn't
come
worded
in
the
soon.
best.
No, you're good. My dog might ask to come in again. Apparently, he really does not
Mm-hmm.
like the stream for some reason.
Oh, little dude.
And the last, like, big thing that I wanted to personally talk about was the beginning of season 4. In the beginning of season 4, or even, like, right before it started, I'm not quite sure when it
Mm-hmm.
was, um, Valk and I think someone else, I can't remember who it was, were talking in the general chat, like not the EOD general chat,
Mm-hmm.
just the general chat, about
Yeah.
another mod pack Connex runs called Mine Stuck. Like
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft and Homestuck mixed together,
Mm-hmm.
Mine Stuck. And I was asking Valk if they wanted me to make a haha funny skin for them
Mm-hmm.
on that. Um, and my autocorrect corrected it to mind stuck with a D instead of an E. And Colt Pond put um mind stuck with the star thing. I forget what it's called.
Asterisk?
Yeah, with an
Yeah.
asterisk
Mm-hmm.
as like a correction. And I simply was like, hey, I have dyslexia and I'm really uncomfortable with people doing that because I have like trauma with it. And then after I had typed it and sent it, I went back and added, yes, that thing. I went back and added a bunch of tone tags to make them like to make it clear that I was not trying to be aggressive and that I was trying to just like set a boundary of, hey, can you please not do that unless if you are asked, because I can usually get there myself and it really bothers me. Um, and the Colt Pond or Froggy immediately got really aggressive about it. Immediately sitting there trying to defend themselves about, like, I didn't know that, it's not my fault, blah, blah, blah. I do not have screenshots of it because Connex went and deleted all of the chats
Mm-hmm.
from this. Um, I had sent another message with a shit ton of tone tags again, just saying, hey, for future reference, maybe, can we not do that? And then Froggy had been like, yes, okay, that's good. And then Joel jumped in, immediately, like, aggressively going, how were we supposed to know that? You never told us. You should have put that in your intro. Now, look at this how I looked at it at the time. When I joined, there was only one other minor, and that is my girlfriend Froppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Yeah. Sorry, brain went to like other person wasn't
Hold
in there
on,
yet because they
dog.
didn't come in till like season halfway through. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, hold on, I have to let my dog back in.
Little dude wants attention.
Little dude wants attention and wants my stream to be messed up. Okay.
For real, as they should.
But
Sorry.
yeah, when I first joined, it was me and Froppy, the only two minors out of, I think at the time, around 30 cast members.
Something like that? I don't remember exact.
Now, at the time, I didn't exactly feel comfortable with putting my triggers in an intro, and we hadn't even really had an intro section when I first joined. That was like an afterthought. So I tried to convey that I didn't really know anyone there, and like more adults join almost like every week. And again, I am still a minor who doesn't know what these adults will do in this setting. And so I believe it was Tofu, Zodi's wife, who jumped in and went, well, the edit button exists for a reason, use it. I did not personally take that well because again, I'm a minor in an adult space. And I kept using tone tags, trying to tell them I was not being aggressive and just trying to explain myself and just like saying, "Hey, please don't do that again." Everyone else kept, I think like 5 people have now joined in to pretty much dogpile on me, telling me that it's not okay to set a boundary if it wasn't set in the beginning. Now, I then wound up getting Radio Geist to be like, hey, everyone stop. And then I tried to ask Radio about like, hey, it's like is it about me setting a boundary or something? And they're like, no, everyone just needs to stop, including you and including them. And if like they threatened that if they hear another word about it, that person will be removed from the EOD chat completely. Now, because Oshi saw this, and we love Oshi for this, Oshi read through it, and she talked about this on her own stream, decided that either she was going to do this professionally or she was going to do what she deemed the right thing. She then told off Radio, Joel, and everyone there. And then my friend Ethan also added to it afterwards. I do not have a screenshot of Ethan's words anymore, but I do have one of Oshi's that one of my friends had sent me because I hadn't seen it. I was still crying like 2 hours after, so it was like, hubba. Now, let me pull up the screenshot from Oshi, and I can read out what she said. Now, remember, everything I said had at least 2 to 4 tone tags. It had very light words of me just trying to sit there and be woo. Also, you're good for swearing. I swear a lot.
You do? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if he, brain automatically goes to humor, and I give that this is not necessarily the best time for that.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck you.
Anyway, Oshi's exact response was, "Hey yo, gonna be honest, I know Radio said no more, but it kinda feels weird to just not say anything. But Apollo was not at all in the wrong. You guys can't expect someone to put all of their pet peeves and triggers in an intro. They asked for a boundary, that's not bad. Like, I love y'all, but the whole interaction was kind of fucked up. They asked for a boundary, Pond got defensive. Joel's response was low-key an asshole move, and Tofu told them the edit button exists for a reason. Guys, that's fucked up. Your line was, "My bad, I didn't know," or "Okay, I'll keep that in mind for next time." You should put that in your intro so other people don't make that mistake. Radio, you should have had them sort that out rather than just shut down the discussion and thus cause the interaction to fester. What the fuck, y'all? Of course they got defensive. You jumped on them for making a spelling mistake. Now, Oshi/Puz, I agree. This was like 2 hours after this happened, and I was still crying. I wound up getting on my phone to my friend's message that kind of wishes for their name to be left out of this. To be there with the screenshot of what Oshi had sent. Now, Connix deleted everything and put like this whole big thing out that I didn't really want to search for after hold on, December, November-ish, 3-4 months? But
Something like that?
then Oshi DM'd me to make sure I was okay. She kind of asked about what else they may have done in the past, and it was cool. Oshi's great. That made me even more afraid of Joel and Froggy and the radio tower. And the radio tower keeps always saying that I disregarded them as an admin, when really I would just ask questions or try to keep myself safe as a minor in an adult space. Do you have anything to add on about this one, Valk?
I'm not sure if there's much I can add. Well, originally the comment was made, like, the mind stuck thing was towards me. I don't think I really saw bottoms of that conversation until after everything had been deleted, so pretty much everything I've heard has been, like, secondhand accounts.
Okay. Do you have anything of your own that you want to talk about? If you need to look for something, I can also read off what Oshi had sent me in DMs because she gave me permission.
Wait, about this situation or situations in general? Sorry.
About that specific last one.
I don't believe so. I don't think there's anything I have to add on.
The one fight, do you want to talk about that or no?
In season 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
If you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you do want to, you can.
It kind of goes, like, similar vibes as things that were talked about on Oshi's stream, where Joel would have disproportionate reactions to things that were in video game, pretty much. Season 3, I think that was one of the seasons where I would make a lot of jokes about, like, throwing hands. Like, I want to throw hands with people. I want to fight someone because I just wanted to kind of go ham, you know. And so me and Joel agreed to a duel. And this season we had the Doom armor from the Doom mod. That was really, it was very scuffed. It was very OP armor. There was no really dying with that armor. I'm gonna be so for real. So me and Joel go into the fight, and I believe Joel had like more health, and I think like better weapon enchants and stuff, or better weapon. I don't fully recall. I think they had fire aspect and I didn't. Details don't matter too much for like game aspects, but we were fighting. And it was taking forever. I think it took. I'm bad with time. Do you recall? I don't recall if you were there or not.
I was not there, but it was a long time for
Mhm.
like a
Um.
Minecraft battle. It wasn't
Mhm.
really like a
Yeah.
long time, but
If Roppy happens to be in chat, I believe she
could you check
was
no mic
there.
again?
Yes.
Froppy is in chat.
Mhm. If Robbie, if you happen to recall how long that lasted, would be much appreciated because I don't fully recall myself.
And I was not there.
Hello.
Teehee. Froppy joined.
Real quick. Oh, Froppy joined.
Yes, Froppy is
Froppy
here
is
now.
muted.
Hi, Sal. Froppy, you should
Yeah,
unmute.
it's still muted.
Hello.
Okay, but the fight, if I remember correctly, was like, I'd like to say like 4 or 5 minutes, which doesn't sound long, but like,
I feel like it was longer than that.
Yeah, I feel like even when I was
But
first
at the
told, I
same
was told
time,
it was a
sorry.
little bit longer than that. Like
it
around
might have been. I
10-ish,
don't
I
remember
think.
exactly.
I feel like it went on for a good amount of time, but at the same time, it might have seemed longer. I genuinely do not recall.
I think it seemed longer, but it was long for like an organized fight.
Yeah, it was long for like an organized Minecraft fight or a Minecraft fight in general.
Yeah.
Right.
But during this time, I don't think I had like food with any or many buffs because we have the passive skill tree, which buffs to food. I
And
don't think I
hi,
had
I'm the one who cooks for everyone.
I don't know if you'd had like leveled up too much at that point. If
No,
I
at
remember.
that point, I had gone immediately to fishing and then just right across the top to passive. So I didn't have many buffs at all.
Yeah. It's like I had like maybe like vanilla plus kind of level food. Um, and I was like eating that throughout the fight because my hunger kept going down, which meant I wasn't regenning because I hadn't gotten anything on the skill tree for regeneration, where I think Joel did have that. And like it was kind of, there's comments throughout it made like, oh, this keeps going because Raptor keeps eating, and I'm like, yeah, regenning, yeah, because I clocked this as them just being like, at worst, maybe a bit annoyed that I kept stopping to eat instead of like keep going and keep swinging. And at some point, like, and the thing is, when they stopped the fight, and when they stopped the fight, if they kept going for like 10, 20 more seconds, they would have won. What was that? What did Apollo say?
I don't know.
I had muted. I should have not been able to be heard, but I corrected my dog on barking.
I
You
heard like a
corrected
split
your dog
second of
barking?
sound.
Fair enough. But continue.
Mhm. Yeah, I was. I'm trying to. Do you happen to remember exact phrasing for what they said? Because my memory's not the best. I remember generally what happened, but I have trouble recalling specific details.
I do not remember exactly what they said. I just remember like
Mhm.
yada yada yada. If you didn't keep chugging food, I'd win. Blah blah blah. Hissy fit. That's what I remember.
Yeah. Overall vibes were not vibes, but like the situation summed up was they got mad. They didn't really yell, but they had a very kind of hostile, upset tone towards me, and was saying um, that the fight kept going on because I kept eating, and that it, something along the lines of everyone knows you don't eat during PvP, because they're saying they hadn't been eating during the period of time we were fighting, and I didn't know that. I've never heard anyone say that. They didn't tell that to me. They didn't really communicate that, and
Nor even is
it,
that in the rules.
yeah, that's not a rule thing. I think they're going based off of other servers, but I don't know any server that's happened.
That's
The closest I can think of is the PvP servers where there's no food because the hunger bar doesn't go down, and it doesn't really apply to it. But
oh, go ahead.
oh no, go on.
I was gonna say with that, that is not like okay. I'm gonna say this as someone who's been around the PvP space since I was like 7. That's never been like an active thing people do. That was just them throwing a hissy fit since the fight wasn't going their way because of that.
Joel had
I'm gonna be
never
so
gotten
honest.
killed by a player until season 5.
That is
That's why
false.
I'll
I
be my
killed from
goat.
season 2.
Yeah, but like they had never been killed once they got like suited up by a player.
Sorry, that came off aggressive.
No, you're good, V. I know.
Yeah, I meant that more as like a slash info. Like, oh yeah, I got them season 2. Then I did like I had them season. I'm bad with tone.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
they
think
weren't used to people being able to even get them like any low nor people being able to like withstand their hits.
Mm-hmm. And with this, I wasn't really getting them low on health. Like they kept regenerating, so like they weren't really. I was maybe chipping down their health, but my health was going down faster, and they eventually would have one if they'd gone a little bit further, but they stopped. Um, and I'm gonna be honest, I definitely spent a good part of time after that mixed between crying and nonverbal.
because I remember being with
Mm-hmm.
you for like
Mm-hmm. And
basically
thank.
the. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was gonna say because I remember basically being with you the like whole day after that, and I don't think it was a good like hour or two
Mm-hmm.
until you were able to talk again,
Yeah.
if
And
I
thank
remember
you for
correctly.
being there, Jen.
Yeah, of course, dude. You're my friend. Of course.
Season
Appreciate you a lot.
5 Season 5 was the water one, the snow one. Zodi
Yeah.
and Joel, their system was not in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think they placed, but they took a break for season 4 and then came back season 5.
Yeah,
I don't think they were
apparently
in season 6 though.
apparently
No.
with Oshi and David joining, they had left the server, but for season 5, Connix poked them.
Which I'm.
This is from Colt's words. This is from like Froggy's words, saying that Connix had asked, that Joel be there to try to push unruly people out.
Also, real quick, I'm confused about. I don't know if they were upset about um Oshi and Centros joining. I'm confused because I think originally in a VC, like it was brought up with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you should add them," and I'm confused how that
I don't
did a full
know.
unless it's referring to
Um,
other people the season after.
no,
I
it was season
remember what
4.
Oh yeah, Froggy, were you in that call?
I wasn't in that call, but I remember why they weren't in season 4. It's just because they generally wanted to take a break and they had stuff to do. That's why.
I
Okay.
also read Colt Pond's, like, I read Froggy's thing today. Like, I went on
Yeah.
my alt account because they have me blocked on my main.
Mm-hmm.
And read it, and they said that they left season 4, to stay away from Fable people because they had asked Connix not to do that because they were uncomfortable with the creators of Fable.
Then that might have just been them and not Joel, because Joel at the time seemed like, yeah, you should bring them in. Like, I'll talk to them, because at the time, Connix didn't really know them the best, I believe.
No
I
idea.
don't know.
I don't know, this
But-
is just coming from a VC I was in with them at the time.
Yeah. But, they left, and then season 5, when they were brought back in by Connix, something happened where David and Oshi made a we're gonna ban you joke, and like jokingly said that they were stream sniping, they blew up with kind of threats and stuff. That's not my story to tell. You should really go either read Oshi's Twitter post, or you should go watch their stream from yesterday. It was a lot where Joel was getting really, really aggressive. Um,
Mhm.
and she has a lot more proof than I can provide because all of mine either got deleted by the admins or wound up happening in VC when I did not have the recording capability.
Yeah, I'm gonna link Oshi's thing in chat really fast.
Please do. Froppy, if you had any experiences you wanted to share?
Can I talk about how they were to like me and Dark after winning and shit?
Yes.
Would that count or is that not?
I mean, they're 30, I believe, bullying a minor for playing Minecraft when they also play Minecraft counts.
Okay, so for context, season 1 of EOD was a laggy mess because I'm gonna start with Dark Side, then I'll talk about mine because ours are just intertwined.
What season? Sorry.
Season 1, the first one, it is
Okay.
basically the beta test season. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
laggy mess. All of us admit
Mhm.
it, but it was fun. Dark, we made it to the end of Dragonflight after them like opening the portal behind our backs. That doesn't matter about like lying and bullshit because it's a death game, but womp womp. Basically, me and Dark had made it to the end portal. Like we were given div cords to go there, and because of lag, Dark got the last hit on the dragon. So originally, Radio, Copon, and Joel were trying to see if they could fucking what is it called? Trying to see if they could get like either a dragon fight redo or giving Joel the win. I don't remember which. Some bullshit like that. Season 2, I exploited my way into the end. Season 3, Dark got the last hit cheaply, and this is kind of where all of it started. Where Joel made a very offhanded comment like on stream and kind of just started treating me and Dark like weird as fuck after that. I know originally me and Dark had made like a joke about Dark winning again, but it was more of a joke of, hey, that's funny. How the fuck did you pull that off? Instead of like meaning to genuinely insult anyone. And I don't know how people could have taken it as an insult, like a personal insult.
Misunderstanding tone, possibly. I'm not sure.
Well, it wasn't anything Dark had said to them. It was just a screenshot of a DM from me and Dark that I had. And it was literally just a thing of like me when I win again, and it's just Dark like laughing his ass off because it's kind of funny. And then like after this in season 4, they were making offhanded comments in Moss chat whenever I won again. And it's just like genuinely, they have a boundary of like no repetitive negativity, but they also go and be repeatedly negative to people, as well as like guilt tripping people and just
Can
using them to get their way.
can I add something?
Yeah, go for it.
In the Discord server, when Connix had made the announcement that Froppy had won again, Joel reacted to it very negatively, like in the little reactions. I forget exactly what it was, but it
I
was
can go
like
look.
it was something like an eye roll emoji or something like that.
Yeah,
And
here, let me see.
like this is a competitive server. It is funny ha-has. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. It's not supposed to be like, oh, well, sorry, throw a fit. And Jody wasn't even in season 4. They had no right to really be upset or make comments about it.
I sent you what I meant, Apollo.
Hold on.
I was just showing you that you were right, basically.
I was like an eye roll sigh, and the other person who reacted like that was Tofu.
I will say I can't speak on other people's cases, but I feel, sorry, with a lot of just experiences with them in general. I'm not touching on the sexualization. I honestly tuned it out most of the time because I didn't want to hear it whenever they did it. So I can't speak on that much, but what I can speak on is like the bad sportsmanship and unprofessionalism, just in general immaturity, and this is coming from the youngest EOD player.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm calling you immature, then there's something wrong. I think on whenever I posted
Valorant
something about
player,
this,
shake my head. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's surprising. If you're less mature than a Valorant player, there's something up.
I am
Anyways,
so sorry.
you're good. But back to what I was saying is that in general, if you're playing a competitive server, you can play to win and you can play to compete. Those are two different things. They're not mutually exclusive. I play to do both, mainly to compete. But if you get insanely like annoyed or toxic with someone for winning, you are not playing to compete. You're playing to win, and if you don't win, you throw a goddamn fit. There's a difference. It's kind of hard to explain. And also, haven't correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't they also like gotten their partners to like try and get Conix to change the rules and ban
Yep.
Fable line people and minors?
Yep.
Mhm.
They
Because
used to have two partners on the
admin
mod
team.
team,
Mhm.
admin team, and they sat there telling their partners to have Conix make it an 18 plus server specifically so that they could make more sex jokes and it would be fine because Oshi had said something about them saying sex jokes with minors in call.
And can I say I feel like that in general is very not fair when there's already been minors. Like Froppy's been there since like day one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the others have been there since
Season 2.
season 2, and
Yeah.
it's would be kicking them out of a space they enjoy so they can make more jokes that they've never stopped making anyways.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much why Conix said no, I believe, because that would just be stupid. But then also when Oshi and Centros joined, they tried to tell Conix that he was not allowed to like invite any more Fable people. Like, don't do that. Fable people need to go.
They were one of the ones who encouraged Conix to try and invite them.
I think that's because they like Ocean Central specifically, because I do remember them endorsing Ocean Central.
Yeah, and I believe after that, like, they had falling outs with a bunch of other people. Because how I found, like, Zodi's entire page was from Sherbert and David and them playing
Yeah,
Raft. Like,
that's
that's
how
how
I
I
found
found
them too,
Zodi. And
if I
it's
remember
just like,
correctly.
it's really upsetting when someone you kind of look up to as someone who, like, you perceive as should be a good person because they're in like the public's eye turns out to be a really bad person.
Could I also add something to this from Moth's Discord that it's not like a personal thing, but it's something that some advice that all of us should take really quick in regards to that last thing you said?
Mhm.
Here, let me find this really quick,
Mhm.
because I'm going to touch on stuff in their Discord that other people have mentioned that I also am kind of realizing. Having a public vent channel in a content creator Discord, there's something off with that, especially if the creator themselves is using it. I know it sounds weird to say, because I'll admit I'm in a like public Discord with a vent channel, but the owner of the server, never mind, the owner of the server uses it, but they're not like manipulative about it, because that's what I noticed with all the vents in
Yeah.
Zodiverse. he seemed very manipulative about it.
Zodi would sit there and vent about someone who's in their server and be really manipulative and like trying to get them to like be bullied into apologizing or just like be very woe be me, like cry. It was like really not good from what I've heard. And like the twice I looked in that channel before like muting it before I was kicked without being told why I was kicked, even though I never said anything wrong in the server or anything. Um it was like really like kind of manipulative and left a really sour like taste on my tongue.
Sorry, I was looking at stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, good. And feel sorry for themselves. Yes. Like wanting people to feel sorry. I would like you guys to know that I'm currently holding a axolotl squishmallow. It's a
That's a little dude.
blue axolotl with a little crown.
Oh, me
Yeah.
then.
My dog knocked him off the bed, so he was on the floor next to me, so I picked him up.
Fair enough.
Are you guys good with what you wanted to talk about?
I would like to add one more thing very fast about the venting thing.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't think if creators have a vent channel, they should use it. How I don't think content creator Discords need a vent channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think if someone is to use a content creator Discord server's vent channel, you need to be very careful with things you mention. You need to give trigger warnings. You don't need to like go in there. You can spoiler all of it, but if you don't give a trigger warning, that spoiler is not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And also, haven't they can I mention here really quick?
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
also
just
want to
DM this
add
to you.
on this because I'm not sure if they've taken out the vent channels, but I know that someone else that I follow used to have them.
To my knowledge, the fan channels are still there.
Apollo,
Sherbert.
Go ahead. No, you
Sherbert
finish what you're
has
saying.
taken their vent
Oh,
channels
there.
out.
Okay, never mind. I was
No
thinking of
idea who you
Slingos.
were talking about.
Never mind.
But Sherbert, when I first joined their community, like, yeah, we can mention that in a minute. Hi?
What?
Sorry,
Oh, hey,
Dark.
Dark.
The fuck you mean bird? What bird do you see anywhere? Sir?
Thank you, Dark.
I appreciate Dark trying to lighten the mood, but Jesus.
There's
Thank
no
you, Dark.
bird.
Love ya /p/fam. Anyway, like, Sherbert even used to have vent channels, but very quickly as their community grew, they realized that the heavy vent needed to go. They kept the medium and the light ones for a bit, but as like a while ago, they took out the medium and the light ones too, because just someone with that big of a community, like it was a good year or two ago that they took those out, because someone with that big of a community cannot deal with vent channels and should not have vent channels in a public Discord server for their fans. Like, if you need to vent, go to a space, like a server with
With your
like
friend.
close friends that has a vent channel. Don't use one in a public Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
Froppy, did you want to talk about that or did you want me?
Oh, with the vent thing, I didn't like care
No,
which one I
not
was
that.
talking about.
The thing that you
Oh,
sent
that.
in my Discord.
I was gonna talk about it some because I
Okay,
like
hold
haven't
on.
remembered explicit.
Yes.
You can give the
Before
content warning though if you want.
you can join if you want to, Dark. Tell your experiences with Zodi's system if you've had bad ones. But Froppy is about to talk about something, and it does mention self-harm. If you do not wish to hear about this, you can click off now, mute the tab, do whatever. It is your choice, and your mental health is more important than us sharing more of a story. You can always come back and watch the VOD. I will keep the VOD up for as long as possible. Focus on your own mental health. That's more important.
Okay. So, am I good to talk now, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
So with solar system, I think a lot of people have noticed. I didn't notice until like everyone else is mentioning it. I know I'm not mentioning my specific cases, but I'm like bringing up general stuff everyone's mentioned that I would like to just also make sure all of us in here know
Mm-hmm.
is their tendency to guilt trip suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I remember EOD boundaries thing here. Let me check.
Yes, I was actually about to
It
pull
has
that
been
up.
since edited.
It
Real
has been
quick.
since edited. Yes, I know.
Yes,
But
someone I immediately was like, "Hey, don't word it that
Ghosty,
way."
wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Ghosty. But then
Mm,
Ghosty kind of got in trouble for telling people not to like to edit their boundaries. And
it's
I can what
I
now?
can see both sides. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just should have probably DM mods about it, but like I get what
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to do. Anyways,
I
solar
have
system. I've also.
I
Go ahead.
have the thing pulled up if you want me to share it. If not, you can do
Could you send
whatever.
it to me?
Yeah, I can screenshot it. I just pulled it up on Oshi's document because I did not have the screenshot.
Fair. But the solar system guilt trips suicide a lot, and it's a, you know a concerning degree. People have suicidal ideation, or not suicidal ideation. People feel suicidal. It is. Oh, I wouldn't say okay to feel suicidal, but you know what I mean. It's not.
It's not something that
If
should be like idolized, like they're kind of making it. Like it's not
right,
something that should be like put out there to a bunch of like fans and communities.
mhm.
right. It's not like here. I feel like I need to add this. We don't react well to be wrong in case of things. Blah blah blah. And here's the thing: Zodi got wrongfully called so many things by someone who just wanted to hurt them, and nearly took a long drive off a short cliff. Which, like, yes, you can be angry, you can be sad. You do not try to guilt trip suicide as part of your boundaries. There's a difference between someone going to a vent channel with friends and saying, "Hey, I don't feel good because of all this," and putting in their boundary, "Hey, you nearly made me kill myself."
Over a
There
Minecraft
is a
server,
yeah.
nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. I um I also remember a few times in their vent channel before I left, they had mentioned stuff. Um, that's basically all I have to say about the self-unaliving part, but I also wanted to mention more about the venting stuff in general. Um, as much as I am someone who, like, I look into drama and stuff, there's a
Mm-hmm.
difference between airing out actual, like, issues in private or, like, publicly, but not making it everyone's issue, and making it everyone's issue. So if you're gonna go into, like, say your public Discord and speculate
Hello.
why someone, hey, Dark,
Hey,
Hi,
sorry,
Dark.
I got hit with an ad, so I wanted to join in.
yeah, you're good. Just let
You're
me
good.
finish really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So say I'm not gonna name them, but this person cut off solar system, blocked them on everything for different issues, but solar system was like going in publicly in like their announcements channel, adding
Mhm.
everyone and like what?
I just said because I remember seeing what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
like publicly going, hey, we think this is why this person has blocked us, which I'm pretty sure has ended up being something that was completely unrelated to it.
I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea.
But in general, it's like, hey, you don't go and air dirty laundry in like a giant public Discord. I think I'm gonna touch on maturity thing again really quick. It's something super immature to do, and even I, like the youngest out of everyone in that general server, probably one of the younger people in the spaces. It's like, if I know not to do it and you don't, as a full-grown adult, there is something wrong there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even though I am a minor, I know my audience is mostly adults, except for the people that, like, the few people that I know are children. But I still try to keep my stuff, like, a lot better organized than that, and I don't go and, like, vent to everyone in my things. Like, I will vent to friends or like in private or Discord servers, but I will not go and vent in a big like streamers thing. No.
Because that's also, even in general, not just returning to this, that's just not a good idea. Because that's a public server. Anything you say can and may be used against you. Just so people know that.
Not can, will be.
Can and
Okay,
will be
good point.
used against you. It is like the court of law. The internet is like the court of law. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That is again why I did not want to sit
Thankfully,
there
never caught me.
and that is why I did not want to sit there and put my triggers and stuff in my intro, because all of these people here were adults, and I didn't know Froppy at the time. I didn't know Dark at the time. In that server, I knew Valk. Like, I had been watching Olive, I had been watching Zodi, but I didn't know them personally. I didn't know how they would react. So, I knew Valk at the time. I was comfortable with Valk. I didn't even know Connix. I was brought in as like a hey, we should spend more time together. So I did not feel comfortable like with a bunch of these adults that I didn't know putting in my intro, these are the things that trigger me. Because again, anything you say on the internet can and will be used against you. Dark, did you have anything you wanted to add on about your own experiences?
They a bitch for real. On God.
Dark.
Motherfucker.
Nah. And, joking, only partially. But no, but realistic, if I'm being for real, yeah, no, they sucked. I'm gonna say it plain out. Cause like really, cause like most of the times that I've interacted, at first it was with Zodi. They were chill at the time. Like obviously there was like some times where like I would say like I would be in their chat, we'd talk, they like completely like skip some things that I would say occasionally and whatnot, and I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe they're just doing streamer things. And then obviously when it came around to like EOD, obviously like things got a little bit wonky. I'll say that. I mean, it's a competitive game, yeah, sure. But a lot of the stuff that they did during that time, it's kind of fucked. I won't lie. Definitely a lot of like lying, manipulation, which granted, I mean, it's a competitive game. Sure, a little bit of lying here and there's not that wrong. But the continuous streak of it does raise a couple of eyebrows,
At a time
especially with
in sorry, at a time
no, go ahead.
in our group chat, we had to state a rule of if Joel speaks, assume it's a lie.
Not only
Because
in game, but like outside of it as well, correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
because Joel was lying to us so often in and out of game that we just could not assume that anything they ever said to us was true. And especially me having been new to death games and competitive things, I would trust it. And then I would immediately get stabbed in the back for it.
Yeah. Because they'd like find ways to word things. Like a specific example was like I think you came to get something or give something to them, and they said, "Oh, I won't kill you on the I won't kill
While
you."
you're dropping it off.
Yeah,
I
but
was
they.
going to give them your head because you had fully died and they wanted to give you
Oh
a
shit!
grave.
Yeah.
And they said, I will not kill you while you're dropping it off. Froppy had to export me there because I had no idea where I was going and I
Mhm.
had iron armor. I died easily that season.
Mhm.
When we get
Whoops.
there, Froppy immediately got stabbed with their level 10
Chicago.
Chicago. There you
that
go.
They're
word.
good sword. That one.
Big,
Good sword.
big sword hurt
Froppy
hard.
died in one hit because
Mhm.
that's how they would do it. They would get a sword that physically, if you get hit in one hit and don't have like the best armor on the server, you would die in one hit.
Mhm.
So I at the time we had the rule of you can only have one kill per day unless if you buy one from the VP shop.
Yeah.
So I dropped that off and Froppy immediately died. I sat there waiting for Froppy because I had no idea how to get home. And within 2 minutes of Froppy dying, Froggy wound up logging on and immediately killing me. So I could not go get my stuff either. So what I'm trying to say here is he found a way to word it because afterwards he told me if Froppy hadn't been there, I would have killed you the second you handed me that head. Mm-hmm. Yep, I know.
I know. I was meaning this for like everyone in chat as well because I know it sounds like
Mm.
we're just kind of like talking about the
Yeah,
server
no,
itself, but
it's just
yeah,
I lying.
Server's
right
good.
in
Love
general. That's
Onyx.
why I was letting people know.
Mhm. Anyway, sorry for cutting you off, Dark. It's just my brain immediately went there.
Nah, don't worry. Do you want me to say like some other stuff too, or do you want to say that you want to say that yourself?
I've said most of my stuff. If you feel like saying anything that's happened to you or that you've witnessed from a party that is okay with you talking about it, then you go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me add some things to the pile here, right? So obviously, there's System Joel, not the nicest person you'll meet. I'll say that. Does but despite the constant lying and whatnot, they kept making they kept making like weird sexual jokes all the time. And me, I'm a degenerate. I like making jokes here and there too. But realistically, I'm not gonna be making like sexual jokes as my only form of comedy. Realistically, that's just weird,
Especially around
stale,
mine.
and it just makes people uncomfortable. Especially people who are like I don't know, even like people like who are asexual. They don't really like they like talk about sex at all. Or
That
the
depends.
cons.
That
Well,
depends as
even
Some,
well.
that's I'm saying some. I'm saying some,
yeah, some
and
do,
like
some don't.
and
Mhm.
just people and just like people in general, they don't want to hear sex jokes like constantly. Like especially like you people. Like Froppy's a minor,
Mhm.
Apollo's a minor, Vault gets
Teehee.
uncomfortable about most things. Like
What?
you get held on. You get the point. Don't worry about this.
What?
But
Uh
What?
huh.
yeah,
Why the fuck did
What?
my vacuum just turn on?
What the fuck?
because
Sorry,
we
that
clean
was
it was
me
because we
slash
cleaned the
Jay.
air. But yeah, like
Sorry.
a lot of the stuff they said, a lot of the stuff they said was just like weird, uncomfortable. Even me, like every time they would join the Discord or like the VC, I did not feel like talking to them. It's like whenever I'd be like, it's gonna be like me and Froppy in a VC. We're just like talking and joking around, and then maybe like one or two people join, and we're still chatting. And then when Joel joins, it's just it's gonna everyone else will be like talking to them, and then I'm just gonna be, and I just like stopped talking after a while. I just stopped talking pretty much. I'm like, damn, well, how the hell did this happen to me?
Yeah. Also,
Like
thank
I
you for
don't.
the follow.
I'm not a very like. I don't know what the word is, but like I'm a pretty like talkative person. Like I like interacting with people, but like Joel themselves literally is might have been the only person I've ever met to make me do that, and that made me uncomfortable because I'm like, how the like. Well, obviously because like the jokes and stuff, but like in general, just like they always had a weird vibe that I never really fucked with, and it's just like it always made it feel like I wasn't even a part of the picture sometimes because I wasn't even in most of the conversations, which is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Not to mention just like the constant lying. Like because in season one, me and Froppy were in a whole different team,
Mhm.
and then they said that they would do the dragon fight like after, like they
A
wouldn't do it
month
without us. Obviously, they
and
lied about
making
that
it
and
a
they did
battle
it.
royale.
Yeah, obviously they did it, but how things are, they weren't doing a good job of it. And then they had to call us in. And then when we told them about like, yo, why'd you lie? They obviously just used the excuse that it was a death game, which it is. Well, it's not a bad lie. It's not a bad thing to say as an excuse, but yeah. But then
Yeah, I
when it
like
started,
as it is a death game, I get lying about that. It's competitive,
Mhm.
but
yeah. And then in the next few seasons, they were always like because I won that season. I won the first one, and then afterwards, it felt like we had like a target on our backs, or at least they had a target on me most of the time. So all of what happened was we were always like moving houses, changing areas, running away most of the time, which was kind of annoying because it just felt like we were like it didn't feel like we were the only ones being targeted, but we were like one of the main people that they were hunting for. And even still, like even as the seasons were going on, like they even made it apparent to me because they said they had never killed me before in the game, right? In I must preface that. And
Sorry, continue.
why are you laughing at me?
Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry.
but I'm
Keep
joking.
going.
No, but like yeah, it was just always like they were always trying to like coerce me to like, oh, we should fight, we should fight, and me being logical because they're an adult who spends most of their time playing, so they have all the time in their day, and they can even stream it because that's we're allowed to do that.
And that's also like their job.
It's their job exactly, so they have more hours put into the game so that they can actually go through it. And then they're just like trying to coerce people like, hey, we should fight, obviously we'll give you a fighting chance, and then obviously well, again, lie, and then they'll just kill you instantly. Me, on the other hand, I'm a college student. Not even home most of the time, and even so, even when I am home, I'm like sleeping or like playing other games. So I won't even have. I won't. I don't do like even a quarter of the time that they do.
I think season one was the only time you were close, right?
Exactly.
mm-hmm.
So like,
And sorry,
hmm? No,
go
no, go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say, and to go off of like what Dark's talking about, um, if they were not like if they were in VCs, if they were not talking about like their sexual life, they would be like, I haven't murdered you yet. I want to murder you. Murder, 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 murder. And it would be like the only thing besides sex jokes that would come out of their mouth. And
Yeah,
like, it was just really, really overwhelming. But that's not as important.
Right.
I say it's still just as important.
Hmm.
I don't know, because
There's
more of
not a
this
lot.
was about, um, hang on, continue.
No, you could say your thing. I still
I
remember what I'm
was,
saying.
I was gonna say, like, we just also need to keep in mind this isn't about
No, no,
Minecraft itself.
no.
Like, it's about
It's not
stuff.
about EOD them. We're not talking about the server itself. No, the server is great. Like still playing on and still being a part of it's awesome. It's the main concern is one person, like a couple of people.
Who
They're
make
the main reason
it
the experience
unfun.
was not as fun as it was.
Yeah. The only
Because
While
there's
reason
also
really
making people very uncomfortable.
the
Mhm.
only reason I've been like mentioning EOD, it's because that's the only time I've like
Mhm.
talked to the solar system.
Mhm.
Yeah. And even even still, just like it's literally just the people. It's like there's a lot of cool people in that server too. They're
Yeah.
great. But it's mainly just a small handful that just don't make it as fun as they want as we can. Because again, they're like they spend how do I word this?
They invest so much time in and outside of Minecraft into the server.
Yeah, and they do a lot of stuff to make it seem like they're friendly and that they're approachable, but obviously as soon as that happens, they kind of
Mm.
backstab them, don't really pay attention to them, and just like kind of just rude straight up. Because most conversations I've ever even had with Joel have been like nothing but like, well, obviously they wanted to kill me, and then just like negative. And they're always very cocky about it too, being like, "Oh, we have this super strong weapon and whatnot," or we're gonna like just some other stuff. Like they feel very carefree because they believe that they're doing really good. But then once they actually like, once things don't go their way, they get very upset and annoyed and act very childish. And it's like you're 30.
If
Come
two
on.
16-year-olds can both act more mature than a 19-year-old, I mean, not a 19-year-old, a
Hey,
30-year-old.
hold on.
I'm not calling out
Hey,
dark here. I'm sorry.
I'm only childish on Tuesdays. Fuck, it's
What does
Tuesday.
that mean?
Well, funnily enough, Dark, it is Tuesday.
I know. I said Tuesday on accident.
Anyways, continue.
But it's kind of sad that the two like youngest people on the server, at least at the time, I'm not sure if Mia is older or younger than me, but
Younger. They're older
yeah.
than me by a few weeks.
But like
Okay.
the two youngest people on the server could act more mature than the 30-year-old, the oldest person on the server.
Can I also mention like the backhanded comments like on their stream, like on EOD streams towards me and Dark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but on stream for the third dragon fight and in the chat of Olive's perspective of the fourth dragon fight, um Joel was talking like a bunch of shit towards me and Dark. Because yes, me and Dark won seasons, like it was Dark
1, 2,
won,
3.
I won, Dark won, I won for season 1 through 4, which fair enough, you can get upset at that. But as a content creator, you have a certain standard of professionalism to maintain, especially in competitive events. And that is basically just saying, hey, GG, y'all did good, go next. You have to have that professionalism as a creator, especially one of solar system size. Which, like, sure isn't the biggest, but, like, it's still big enough to where if they slip up and say something, it could cause damage to someone. So, like,
If you have
if you...
one viewer or if you have millions, you should not be acting like that, especially in the public eye.
Yes.
Yeah. I will also mention that I was called a cheater multiple times throughout like 3 different seasons by them. And
When they'd also done similar shit. And when they'd
well,
also deliberately broken the rules.
yeah. I don't remember when they exactly broke some rules, but I definitely remember that they did do some of that. And yeah,
Putting eyes in luggages.
oh yeah.
That was season 3, and I, like, called them. I was like, hey, aren't we supposed to have, hell, it might have been Ender luggage if I remember correctly, but that's not for now. Point
Yeah, but
was,
either
like,
way,
hang on,
like
wait a second,
We
call them out on
also
it, and
did that, so,
wait, they did?
we did that too, season 3.
There was never a rule against luggage, to my knowledge.
no, that was
Yeah.
like after 2 though.
Ah,
wait,
okay.
yeah.
We're talking about the third season.
Yeah, no, season 3, the one where like the first time we spent in the lighthouse.
Oh yeah, and
Lighthouse,
it's
my
when
beloved.
luggage got first added. I think it was only like after the season they changed that, wasn't it?
That goddamn lighthouse.
Okay, I
Yeah.
might be
Maybe season
stupid.
4.
They banned it season 4. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm surprised
But-
Falk didn't find a lighthouse somehow this season.
I mean,
There's
I
The
feel like
no
it was
closest
Enterprise
we
this
have
season.
are those paraglider towers.
Continuing with what I was saying though, was
Yeah.
during season 5 when Abby killed Joel and looted his body, there had never, to my knowledge, been a rule against looting container items on someone's body. Until Radio and Copon were telling Abby, like, hey, you can't do that. There's a rule against looting containers on their body. Which
That got added after that.
Yeah, that got added after that. Which I just think is stupid. Like, if it was already there, fair enough. But also, I also remember Abby mentioning, like, hey, that wasn't in the rules, but I'll do it anyways, because, you know, Abby
Yeah.
might be the counter, but he's still a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, and also most of the mods at the time were like
Joel's partners.
Froggy, Radio. So like
And how we thought
like
the rest of them were Joel's friends, but it turns out that was not the case.
And it's
At the
also weird.
time, a lot of them were Joel's friends. Like Zenny was kind of had like interacted multiple times on stream and everything and had talked to them off stream, but things just went down the window.
Yeah. Especially when it came to like those accusations of cheating, because some of them weren't even true. Well, I don't know why I said some. They weren't true, but it's like very unfortunate. It's like because being called a cheater in general, even it's like in a game in real life, that's not a thing that you could just like outwardly just like say, because like
Especially,
that could be multiple implications of like just like not good stuff that could happen. Like really, because if people actually were like listening to Joel, I would not even be in any future seasons. Hell, I wouldn't even be in the server by then. And also, like things would have just gotten way worse for like, well, not just me, but other people as well. Because if they had like the whole ability to do that, like what else could they have changed? Like it's essentially just like they wanted to be, like they had like the power to do it because also most of their friends were mods. Like
They
it
wanted to
made a
be
lot
an
of stuff just
admin
like,
but a player at the same time, basically.
yeah.
yeah. And also, didn't they? Correct me if I'm wrong, but did they not use like admin information to nearly blackmail you, or am I stupid?
When
Because
did
I
they
remember hearing
blackmail me?
something like that. Say that again.
I don't remember when they blackmailed me.
Well, not like deliberately blackmailing you, but like fucking like using admin information against you. Because I remember hearing something like
I
that.
do know. What was season of Abby in 5?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the time that Joel died to a player for the second time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's when Joel tried to fight us for like the first time. I escaped by freezing, so they didn't get the kill confirmation for that. But the main issue was that like immediately as afterwards, I was like typing in like the Discord, and then they were saying something like, "I don't talk to cheaters," and I'm like, first of all, I don't think we barely talk in general, man, and like third and second of all, me cheater? Nah.
Like you've bent the rules, but they've also done the exact same thing.
Yeah, like realistically, a lot of the stuff I did was curving around the rules, and like you could technically do that. I mean, like a lot of servers, they're like people go around the rules to like do certain things, but
And
overall, it's not like listed on it. So,
and honestly,
and I
doing
didn't
something
know
like that does help with the rules because it makes people
exactly.
aware of like, oh hey, this is something that's probably added onto, or this is
Right.
something that we can now be aware of.
Damien? Hold on, my little brother's trying to sneak out.
Oh,
Shoot 'em.
Dark, no.
Stop!
We are on
Get
stream.
get the tranquilizer darts.
Okay, better.
Excuse me?
But yeah, like a lot. It really sucks how. Also, they what they also did was blame a lot of what I was also used as essentially like sort of a scapegoat in a lot of situations because they referred to the team that I was in, like my team, because I was considered like the leader of the group, which I guess understandably so. But the
Our
fact that they
team
were just like
communist.
they were referring it to me as the main person, which felt like I was also being targeted more than anyone because they didn't really name anyone else technically besides me and then sometimes Froppy. So
Yeah, it
it's
was
just a
always Dark's team or
little bit
Dark
of
and
an unfair
Froppy's
thing over
team.
there. Because whenever it was like unfair on our part, we never said like, oh, Joel's team was like really messing with us. No, we would just say just the one person or just like in general, just like things are just not going well for us.
Right.
And
Like
for
I
the
would
most
say,
part,
go ahead.
they were more they were like more ahead of like anyone else realistically because of again the amount of time that they had on the server and whatnot. So it's just unfortunate how things just happened, especially when we were getting picked on for basic things, even though we were just kind of essentially just lucky on how we just did our thing, did stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that and also just not brute forcing everything.
Yeah. And okay.
We were just like kind of like basically turned into the disgraced ones for instead of
Worded that
it's
better.
accurate. But essentially we were just like turned into these like terribly shitty people on and off the
Yeah.
server.
We were perceived as really shitty people and just
Mhm.
like granted, and that might be true for me, but not the rest of these guys. I don't know, but
These
I don't know
two,
about Vault.
which two? Which two, Dark?
Hmm.
Road heaven and
We'll let
earth,
the
I and
viewers
dark
figure that one
alone
out.
are the I don't know.
No, but yeah,
Viewers get
like
to
I
decide.
understand like me, like if they would like shit talk me, I don't really care if I get shit talked or not. Like that's just the type of guy I am. But like I know like the rest of the people here, they're not as keen to like they care more about like the negative like stuff that they hear or what they're being directed towards. Like and it sucks because if they're talking about one of us, they're also gonna mention the rest of us, which is also fucked because like not all of us are like this. Sure, I'll say something here and there, but that doesn't mean like that should be directed to all of us, which is what they did a lot of the times too, which is
Mhm.
unfair.
I
Yeah,
will
like
say
if.
also, oh
Go ahead.
god, fuck. Okay, what I was gonna say is also, I know sometimes we would like joke a bit too far, but if anyone there was uncomfortable, like we clarified that if anyone there was uncomfortable with it, we would stop.
And we
They just,
apologize.
yeah, and we apologize.
Mhm.
Like we just need to be let know, and we make it clear, like, hey, yeah, you can just tell us if you don't like it, and we'll stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still do that. Like if someone new that doesn't has never really like vibed with us before joins, we will tell them, "Hey, look, if we take something too
Far, let us know, and we'll stop. Is that what you were trying to say, sir? Or love?
yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
No, don't worry. It's because I wrote Berber in the chat, and I think it caught him off guard.
What bird is there? Oh, Berber. What?
Not a bird. It's
Aw.
intellectual meal.
Forget
What?
where I was going with that.
Hey, I'm just here to lighten the mood. But yeah, like shit's there was just a lot of negative stuff that happened towards us despite us just doing the stuff that we were supposed to do, which is unfortunate. It sucks.
Like, I get, like, acting a certain way in character if you're going to do a character like that. Or, like, lying sometimes to get your way in a server. Like, season 3, I was going to lie my way into stealing one of Joel's eyes. Or, like...
Because, like, that's the whole point of the game. It's mind games.
Yeah, but there's a difference between,
But sitting there and
like,
everything you say is lying in and out of game, no. Or sitting there and being shitty with everything you do in and out of game, no. Like, I get sneaking up and, like, killing someone. Like, the other day, I was vibing, and Sherbert and Haley killed me back to back before I could even grab my stuff. Instead of
Yeah.
taking it personally, after I lost 5 lives that day, I just went, hey, Haley, Sherbert, where do you want the new scars to be? Apparently, Haley said she wanted to have stolen my kidney. Sherbert
Yep.
Sherbert didn't pick, so they just like dislocated my shoulder. So like I made lore out of it. I made funny ha-has out of it. Like, cool, you stole my live. I don't care.
Someone said something and it cut out so incredibly bad.
It was Apollo still.
Oh.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Something about after the kidneys thing, it cut off.
I was saying about how Sherbert took out my shoulder, but I just said, okay, cool, lore. I picked for Sherbert. Valen told their ass that they took out my shoulder. Anyway, do either any of you have anything else? Because this stream that I was planning on maybe being an hour long is now almost 2 hours long.
Oh shit.
Let's go for 3.
No.
I don't think we have enough to do that, Dark, even
I'm
if we
gonna
wanted
veto
to.
that actually. I have work tomorrow.
Yeah, and at that point it's pretty much shit talking.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Instead of sharing
Don't
what
that.
they've done, at that point it's just shit talking, which is just worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's what I will say. About like part of here. I'm gonna pull up Twitter really quick and like directly quote myself really fast. Give me like I'm gonna have to find this. I've been trying to.
I think my final thing is I'm just gonna say is just like really sucks how rude a person can be on and off camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very unfortunate that that happens. Really sucks. Like, do better, man. You've been streaming for like how many years now? Like, this type
Almost
of
as long
professionalism
as.
is like, this is not even professionalism.
When you're
It's like
in the
essentially like them
public
having their
eye,
way for so long that they like forgot how to be a common like a decent human being to to a degree. Not
when
even to
you're
a
in
degree, like
the public
entirely.
eye, you need to be you have to hold yourself to a higher standard once you've become in the public eye. You cannot just sit there and do whatever.
Right.
Do you have the thing now? To quote yourself?
Oh, yeah, here. Okay, so I was gonna say, even if it's like, oh, it's just a game, dogpiling on a child is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And like for an instinctive reaction in the game, or for like taking a punishment, or literally just a spelling mistake, dogging on someone or dogging on a group of people constantly, while also like saying, oh, I don't like people being negative towards me, but then constantly being negative towards other
Yeah,
people at a
hypocritical.
consistent rate,
Yeah.
just because you're not getting your way is super shitty. And getting too mad at like a teenager and like a just turned adult for having slight EOs in a game that we are clarified to not be serious. It's just
Just an
they're
adult.
kind of like laughing that they somehow pulled something crazy off. Getting genuinely mad over that is like fucking, I'm not quoting myself anymore, but paraphrasing. That's like you as a 30-year-old going to a bowling alley and getting mad that a teen and a fucking just turned adult hit like you're playing bowling with them and they hit 2 strikes back to back from each other and they're like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. And then getting like insanely agitated over it. It's like very similar to that in the way of just you don't do that.
And then also sitting there and going, I care about minors. I'm an actual adult that cares about minors. And then yelling at minors 5 minutes later.
Oh yeah.
It's
No. Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Like how
Apollo
do you
not
like
being
even how do
mentioned
you
there.
I know they said, but I'm just gonna just do it like real quick. Like how do you manage to say that and then be like a whole jerk about it? Like not even 3 minutes like after. Like realistically, like come on, you're like digging yourself like a big hole. Even like the thing is, they said this even out of a stream. Like I feel like if this was during a stream, they wouldn't have said the way that they did. Like I feel like it would definitely be like they would have definitely like sugarcoated it in a whole completely different way, in a way that like it wouldn't seem as bad. If this was in any other situation, they wouldn't have said it the way that they did, but they did anyways,
mm-hmm,
which was very rude.
mm-hmm. Anyway, because it has been an hour and 45 minutes, and this was only intended to shine light on the shit that was fucked up with my very hard to read document and shine some light on what has happened to some of my friends due to this streamer. Um I am going to go ahead and raid a fellow EOD member, Sentreats.
Oh,
Sun Life?
slay.
They are
Yeah.
playing. Hold on, Dead by Daylight.
Paula, can I DM you something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here.
Bestie, you do not have to ask permission to DM me.
I was
Thank
asking
you.
about Apollo.
Oh wait, did you say Apollo or me? Did I be
Yeah,
dumb?
I said Apollo.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I somehow misheard my name. I got very confused.
I
That's
also
my bad.
heard Volk, so
You might have said the
anyway.
wrong name, bestie.
Anyway, chat, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Aspen and Wing, for the hugs. Thank you for everyone who was here to listen to this. I know I'm a smaller streamer, and it's a lot harder for smaller streamers to have their voices heard, and the support recently through this has been amazing.
I'm sorry if this comes off as rude.
One second.
I'm not trying to be rude about it. I'm just like genuinely questioning if should do it. You know what I mean? Just because of how nature of this has
Chat,
been.
yeah, chat, please don't talk about what I've talked about here in their stream. They don't need that vibe. Bye, chat.